Hello, this is Lee McQueen discussing the strange turn the Democrat primary had recently. I predicted, like some other people, that mainstream media would call the race early for Hillary Clinton. But I thought that would be after New Jersey voted. Mainstream media decided to call the race prior to anyone voting on the last Super Tuesday. And it seemed very irresponsible and then also very surprising since it came from Associated Press. And the irresponsible part of it is that um, they based their vote calculations, totaling all the delegates for Hillary Clinton, on pledged delegates plus superdelegates who have not voted yet. So not only did the voters of New Jersey and California and New Mexico and Montana and North Dakota and South Dakota not have a chance to even cast their ballots before mainstream media called the race, the superdelegates hadn't even voted yet. And so, since this is Associated Press, you would think that they would be more responsible with their reporting, because the Democrat National Committee, or the Democrat Party, actually did tell the media not to count superdelegates as part of the final vote total. The superdelegates do not count until July 25th, and particularly since this is a contested convention, as Bernie has said, and I'm going to get to that pretty soon. Again, the voting's not going to be finished until July. And so I also forgot that there's still the Washington primary. So basically, Associated Press went very much out of its way to suppress voting in over 6 states. Let me count them again: California, New Jersey, New Mexico, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. That's seven, and then Washington D.C. So that's seven places that still had yet to vote, and then you count in the superdelegates. That's eight more places that have to vote before the race is over. So very irresponsible of Associated Press, and I think bad ethics and poor sportsmanship, because it does seem like they're very much biased towards Hillary Clinton for whatever reason, and are going out of their way and violating even their own sense of journalism and character to help her out as her media firewall. Um, very, very unfortunate, I think. But anyway, we move on. As Bernie Sanders has always moved on from all the nefarious doings that he's encountered this primary season, all the shenanigans and the chicanery, plus the games and the bullying and the intimidation and just the foulness. He moves on and we move on with him. And so he's going to be moving on. I did hear from his campaign, and according to his campaign, and I'm going to quote, Bernie is actively campaigning in every state that has yet to vote. We're going all the way to the Democratic convention, where the delegates will continue to fight for the important issues at the heart of this movement, and to make it clear that as the only candidate who appeals not just to Democrats, but to independents and even some Republicans all across the country, Bernie is the strongest candidate for the Democratic nomination. This campaign has already made history, and with your help, will continue to do so. And so I think that's terrific. It's optimistic, it's forward thinking, it's very clear in its message that no, the race is not over. And yes, the race is going to go all the way to the Democratic convention. So the Associated Press is wrong, and they need to print a retraction. But that just depends on the level of ethics they want to practice, whether they will or will not do that. But moving on, as Bernie Sanders always does, he keeps it moving, and I like that about him. As long as he is in the race, that means the focus of the political process will be on actual issues, specifically issues related to income inequality, rather than identity politics and foul-mouthedness, which is what Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump seem to want it to be. Nobody wants to hear that. We want to hear focus on our issues, not on whether Donald Trump is sexist or whether Hillary Clinton is whatever. We want it to be on our issues, not on silly season or silly back and forth, just bickering. We want actual issues addressed, and as long as Bernie Sanders is in the race, that's what's going to happen. So I'm really glad that he is staying in the race. I did hear another I did get another message to the email list, which I am on, and he's endorsing more candidates, more down ballot candidates. He's already been endorsing. He's given a shout out to some of his Berniecrats. You can go to berniecrats.net and you'll find these names: Lucy Flores, Zephyr Teachout, Pramila Jayapal, Tim Canova. Oops, I went down too far. Let me see if I can find that one. I lost it. Eric Kingson and Paul Clements. These are two people that he's endorsed just recently, just now with this email. And so he's introducing Eric Kingson and telling everyone he wants definitely to have this man in office. He's led the fight to serve. He's led the fight to protect and expand Social Security, and he had the courage to challenge the president when he considered years ago. And the other person that Bernie is endorsing recently is Paul Clements, and he's a progressive who is running against a climate denier who only won his last election because of the Koch brothers spending. And so Bernie is saying we need to focus on all 60 candidates and send a message. And he also sent out, with the previous message, another shout out to Tulsi Gabbard, who's running in Hawaii as U.S. representative. Tulsi has been ride or die for Bernie Sanders, and I really hope that the electorate in Hawaii are ride or die for her. And I think they are. They know that she's the real deal and that she knows the true cost of war. She doesn't talk big or, kind of stand at a podium and try to prove how tough she is. She's already tough. And if you're tough, you don't have to prove anything. And that's why we like her. And it's probably why Bernie Sanders likes her too. So this is some recent updates from the Sanders campaign, and maybe not so much listening to mainstream media, who's been extremely irresponsible of late, but it's important to research other sources of information too, to approach something resembling a little bit closer to the truth. Okay, good luck and see you on the other side.